What is good, Mexit planners? It is 5:20 a.m. on Friday here in Merida, and I am out trying to catch the new route on the E8 Tram, which is the North route, which is the one I've been most excited about since the announcement of this project. This route goes from Parque La Plancha all the way up to the Periférico, which is the perimeter of the city, on the main street of Merida, which is Prolongation Montejo. So I'm gonna go and try to use the Va y Ven app this morning and see if I can't take this new route, the North route, on the quote-unquote Merida subway. The tram runs from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. at night, but I'm out early because today it's supposed to be 108 degrees again, and if you don't get out early in Merida, you're gonna melt in the middle of the day. Normally the bus system in the morning is really crowded when people are coming from the south side of the city to the north side of the city for work. But I'm gonna start with the southbound route and maybe take the northbound part later and just see what changes have been in the city. Now, me personally, I've been down for a couple of weeks. I haven't even really walked much or ran or did any type of exercise this week since returning from Alaska. Was on a cruise ship. It was amazing, but one of the things about a cruise ship is, particularly in a cold weather environment, is lots of people coughing and sneezing. And so my family caught some type of bug, and you know, it had me down for quite a while. So today is just a day of me getting out early, trying to see what's going on in the city. Next week is Noche Blanca here in Merida. Here are the neighborhood dogs. Let me flip around. These guys, what's up, buddies? They're out all the time. But it is super early. Like I said, I am out. There's no traffic. People will get up and start moving soon. So one of the things I probably should do right now is simply check to see what time the next tram runs at this stop. So they started at 5 a.m. from La Plancha, and I'm not really totally sure about the frequency. I know it's between 15 and 20 minutes. So one of the cool things with the Va y Ven app is it shows you where you are in relationship to the next tram. The Va y Ven app isn't just for this tram, the E8 Tram, it's also for the regular bus system, or the new bus system, I should say. Merida has a very old bus system, and since, you know, I got here 5 years ago, one of the things that's changed quite a bit is just the transportation system here in Merida. The bus system that they had before was like from the 70s, and those buses still run, but they're slowly replacing or adding new buses and trams to the Va y Ven system. So now the Va y Ven system runs in Valladolid and other cities, and they're starting to expand in Valladolid. I can see those routes in the app, as well as the E8 Tram system is going to, or the subway, the E8 Tram is kind of the subway of Merida. It's going to have another route that's going to open pretty soon, probably by the end of June, that goes to Uman, where the new airport may be located one day. This is the Campestre Club, and the Campestre Club is a private social club. They have their own fitness stuff, their own park, baseball park, but it's a private members only social club, kind of like one of the first country clubs, I think, in Merida before the Yucatan Country Club. One of the stops for the northbound tram is right there at the Walmart Express. So that is the Walmart Express, and that is one of the stops. But I need to go across the street because my goal is to catch the southbound bus first, and then so this is the R64, which goes to Grand Plaza. Now this bus is normally pretty packed, but it's one of the first buses of the morning, so there's not a lot of people on that bus. And the cool thing about the Va y Ven, if I haven't said this already, or just the system compared to the old system, not all the buses were air conditioned. And with the Va y Ven, they're all modern buses like you would find in any major city. A few years ago, back during COVID, when they made these bike lanes, they carved out this particular section for the buses and the bikes. And here, this is the new stop that was put up for the Campestre site right behind me. So that's Club Campestre across the street. And behind me is the Campestre neighborhood, which is one of the nicer affluent neighborhoods in the city. And the sun's just coming up. There it is back there, that little orange dot, that's the sun. As you can see, I'm walking up on the Campestre side. This is the southbound side of the EA tram, and I'm waiting for the tram. I just saw a few minutes ago the northbound tram go by, and I tried to run to catch it across the street, but I was just a little too slow. By the time I made the decision to go over and catch the tram, it was already pulling out. This is going to be a great way to just kind of do a little city tour. Also, when you come here in Merida, and I used to offer the service of taking folks around and kind of show them the city. But if you come in and you're doing your exploratory trip and you don't have a car, using the Va y Ven system, whether it's the bus, the newer modern buses, or just even the EA tram, is going to be a good way just to get familiar with the city and do it inexpensively. So there's also a R64 headed south at the same time. All right. Buenos dias. All right, we're at the new section, which is the Circle Ruta Colonia section. And this is where the dedicated tracks for the trams start. And I guess they have a synchronized or dedicated light. But we are now in Itzimna, and we're on the dedicated part of the road for the tram. Wanted to get off and go to the Patria or the north part of Paseo Montejo. It's about 2 blocks up from this particular intersection that we're at right now. So one of the surprises I got today is that the tram is still free. It was supposed to be until the 19th, which was Sunday, but today is Monday, the 20th, and it is still free. So I'll find out how long that's going to be, but I'm going to head down to Mejorada and then over to La Plancha and catch the tram back, probably to Itzimna, go through the downtown Itzimna and show you what that looks like, and then head over to Manifesto Coffee to start my day. All right, we are Parque Mejorada. And Mejorada is pretty cool. It's a central gathering spot in the evenings for a lot of folks. That's the church of Mejorada there. But this is very central to a lot of Centro Merida in terms of the market and Grand Plaza. It's only a couple blocks up from Grand Plaza and things of that nature. So let's catch the tram going by. Not sure if you see these big yellow arches here that I'm rolling up on, but these are the original gates to the city. At one point, you know, they had doors, I guess, and they could shut down the gates and lock down the city. So this was, you know, the original boundary of Merida. And there are a couple, the first one you see is if you fly in, you see them at the airport. But there are a couple of these gates here. All right, so let's head back over to Parque La Plancha, one of the original gates of Merida. So now I'm using, I'm using the Va y Ven app, and like this R63, that's pretty much takes me right to my house. That bus, it says Copa La Isla, that goes maybe half a block from my house. And I'm noticing this, as I'm using the app and checking out the routes, that the bus schedule is definitely faster and way more quicker than the IE tram. But it's good to know, like R63, R64 rolls up Paseo Montejo and pretty much mirrors the route of the northern IE tram, and R63 goes literally right by my house. So it's cool to kind of know where these buses are going, and being able to see the route map has made a huge difference in being able to take the bus. It used to be a really deep, dark magic to take the bus because you had to know all the neighborhoods. And so now if you're visiting Merida, it's pretty easy to download the app, take a look at the route, figure out some major landmarks like La Isla Mall. That route, R63, goes to La Isla Mall. So now we're headed over to YNA. YNA is on 59. The IE tram turns on 48. So if you get off, well, you can't get off here, you have to get off at Mejorada. I think they definitely only stop at the designated IE tram stops, not even all the Va y Ven stops. 2 blocks south actually, of Parque Mejorada. We just crossed 1 block, which is 48, which is where the IE tram will turn, is YNA, the best tacos in Merida, especially for breakfast. I'm not gonna eat it today because I'm trying to get back in my routine. But I will take you guys by there and show you. So there are 2 or 3 locations. The 2 that I know of is this one here in Centro, and then the other in Itzimna. And I've never been to the one here in Centro, so I might be in for, at a minimum, a Costa Con taco. But get here early. They close. They're like a breakfast, early lunch spot. I think they close at like 1 o'clock. This park has completely changed this entire area for the better. Rents here are sky high. Or not sky high, but they're much higher than they were, because this is, the central park of the city, and it's a very desirable area of the city. Plus just all the renovation that they've done, not only to the streets, but to the park, and etc. But as I was saying, folks, when they visit Merida, they tend to want to stay in Centro or be in Centro. And I think the biggest reason for that is that's what they've seen on like HGTV and some other places. But the one thing that I will say is it's much more than that, right? Merida is way bigger than just Centro. University of the Arts of Yucatan. Which is pretty dope how they did this. So they just this was the old railway center, and they really kind of kept it the way it is, which I like. Still got tracks going down the middle, which is kind of aesthetically pleasing. Like, that's pretty cool. There's the tram there, headed to the station. The reason I live in the north is because that's where all the services are. Also, the infrastructure is better. Sidewalks are wider, streets are wider. Power doesn't go out as much in my area as it does in Centro, because it's not being overwhelmed with these new renovated homes. And so I just like the area better. But if you're coming down the gastronomic district, if you look at the map here, you can see, 47 leads you over to Paseo Montejo and all the shopping and all the things that are being done in Centro. Right now they're renovating Grand Plaza. So that's kind of neat. And it's undergoing a renovation to update it and modernize it, like this area. Back when they opened this park, all of these trees were bare, right? Limbs cut back. And now we're in full summer, spring, I guess still spring. And all the shade that they provide right now. And the grass needs to be cut, but it looks like it's growing up pretty good. But these trees are definitely providing nice shade, particularly in this workout area over here. The Light Museum is open now, as well as the Railway Museum. But this pavilion has a lot of like custom beer spots, like Esmeralda Tap Room. There's a coffee shop, there's some pizza, of course taquerias are in here. The bathrooms are in here as well. I believe you need I think it's 5 or 10 pesos to use the bathroom, but they're clean. They have attendants. And then they have these great big old fans, which aren't on right now, but they definitely move the air. So it's a really cool place to chill and hang out. And it overlooks the main kids playground. And I believe the playgrounds are still separated by age groups. So, certain age kids can only be on one area, and then the younger kids in another, and etc. The amphitheater's open. They had a free circus show that was amazing. I'll see if I can put some video. It didn't take much, but I'll see if I can maybe drop some B-roll of that event. It was one of the first events that they offered here, actually, and it was free. The one thing about Merida is that they will invest money in entertaining and putting the money back to the citizens, as far as facilities and entertainment and things of that nature. I love that about the state of Yucatan and the city. Back out, but 6 minutes wait and we'll take it back to the very next stop, which is actually the Itzimna stop, and maybe walk from there. It's getting warm, so I want to get as close to Manifesto as I possibly can. All right, so we are back in Itzimna after leaving La Plancha. It was really right on time, right on schedule. Almost missed it because I didn't hear it pull up. But we are headed back to downtown Itzimna. I want you to see kind of some of the cool stuff that's there. And a friend of mine told me about a cool coffee shop in Itzimna that I think I'm gonna try to find and check out. So if I do, that'll be the first stop. And then we'll get on over to Manifesto to get my fruit plate. One of the things that people want to do when they move here is kind of get involved with community service and giving back. Yucatan Giving Outreach is an awesome facility. This is their thrift store across the street. So if you are moving, which happens every April, May, or if you're looking to acquire furniture or what have you, check out Yucatan Giving Outreach. Maybe 4 blocks, maybe 3 blocks that way is the other Itzimna stop as you're crossing over this main road. Cafe Latte, maybe that was the coffee shop she was talking about. Let me roll in there. It's right behind Yucatan Giving Outreach. So let me see if I can cross the street without getting ran over. Apparently this spot, they roast their own coffee since 1995. And check this out. They roast their own coffee. Like, they have pretty good selections here. Wow. I did not expect this when I walked in. All right, coffee scored. We got some from Chiapas. They say they roast coffee every single day in that spot. So that might be my new coffee source. One of the places I go when I get a craving for barbecue is this restaurant here in Itzimna called Hogson's. It's on Calle 22. This is actually Mexico Oriente. I literally just walked out of Itzimna in Calle 33, but it is pretty much Itzimna, Mexico Oriente, and very nice restaurant. Steakhouse, smokehouse. They do good barbecue, good ribs, and good sides, baked beans and such. So check them out, Hogson's. Beside Costco is the Galleria's Mall. Many people think it's the Liverpool Mall. That mall is notable for having the ice skating rink in the middle. Coming up, just past the Galleria's Mall, is the Harbor Mall, which is more restaurants and movie theater than mall. It's actually the newest mall in Merida, but it's never been fully populated. Tram station for the Harbor Mall, or on the northbound side, is at just past the Texas Roadhouse.